Hello everyone, this is Aaron with Crypto Trends. Today is May 21st, 2018. Please keep in mind that this is not financial advice, just my opinion. So tonight this is just an evening update, checking out the Bitcoin correction and a little bit more news for VEN or VeChain. So first let's go take a look at the market cap. And let me make sure I'm streaming. So I am, so that looks good. Alright, so market cap is at 376, Bitcoin dominance still below 40, which, is fine. And right now we're looking at a sea of red with very few greens. Tron is in the exception, and Binance Coin, so hey. And, Tether. But we're not paying attention to Tether, but pretty much everything else is just sucking wind, and that's fine. It is what it is. And what do I mean by that? It is what it is. It's fine. Well, here's the 4-hour chart on BTC versus USD. And let me pull out so you can see it, so you know where we're at. Okay, so this is the December, January time, right, where we're way up 20,000 area. And here's the basic overall trend for a down 5 count if you're into Elliott waves. I'm really not into technical analysis myself. I just draw things to kind of look at it to basically show people where it's going. And that's because you can draw lines, people can see it. What I usually do is I get into the energy of something, I remote view it, and then I draw the lines. That's what I do. I don't rely on these lines. Oh, it's got to be this, it's got to be that. I pay actually pretty very little attention to it. But anyway, so here we are, and we've seen that Bitcoin is basically kind of like in a downward trend, and then it's almost like it went up a bit and now it's going back down. And people are calling this a head and shoulders or whatever, but to me this is the box pattern. I'm a computer programmer, and so I can spot algorithms, and this is definitely an algorithm. And the little box patterns that we're in, like this here, that's a little box pattern. Some people call them like a Bart Simpson. But anyway, within a for loop, what you have is, well, you have the start and then you have the end. And so this is done by like a CO or composite operator. That's Wyckoff stuff, which gets more into theory, which is kind of cool on why markets react and what they're doing. Anyway, I'm pretty dang convinced that in Wyckoff, this would be called the distribution. So what's happening is that force the price up, and then in the distribution is where they basically unload their bags to the unsuspecting people. And that's you and me, right? Well, hopefully not. And then what happens is, well, we get left holding the bags. But with Bitcoin, I'm okay holding the bag because they're not shaking it loose for me. Nevertheless, here we go. So as far as this pattern goes, what I'm looking for is that we had an opening, and with the opening, it needs to close. And let me zoom in here. So let me take this auto scale off so we can zoom in better. There. So this opening here, right here, whoops, let me kill that, needs to close. And that's with this red arrow down here. And so a couple days ago on a previous video, I drew these lines before these little candles were even here. And lo and behold, I mean, they're pretty much going right over the candles. Boom, 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 boom. And then it's going back down this one, which I was interested to see, because earlier on it wasn't hitting this candle. And so I'm thinking, oh, okay, so that did that. I'll go ahead and do an update. Just show you where, I mean, it looks like it's going along with basically what I got on remote viewing. And you can give remote viewing whatever opinion you like, but I'll tell you this, just take a look at that, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Nevertheless, going with the trend of what I got from remote viewing is that we're going to go down and then we're going to take another big boom, a big, fast, hard downward movement, which is like we have seen everywhere in this manipulation. So like here, wham, big, huge fall off, right? Big, huge fall off, big, huge fall off. And that is just the trend of how this thing goes. It wants to sell off very quickly. And that's what I think is going to happen. And time frame wise, I'm looking between, I don't know, 24th, 25th, right around that time period. And today is the May 21st. And this is Pacific Standard Time that I'm talking about. So we'll see if it goes there. Can I be wrong? Absolutely, and I hope I am, because let me get the auto back on. Because where I want this thing to go, to tell you the truth, is just zoop. That's where I'd like to see it go. So I hope it does. Can it go that way? Sure can. So we'll see. Anyway, so that's about it on BTC Bitcoin, and best of luck to all your holders here. Now, one thing, if it does bounce here, getting back to Bitcoin here real quick, if it does bounce here, then we could actually see a pretty nice strong recovery. If we don't, then we could expect to see it bounce, take a real hard big correction, basically, so this top gets removed. It's called a blown off top. Okay, it's where the top basically gets removed and had never happened. It's like this whole bunch of growth here, this whole bunch got erased. You see how this bottom point is right around here, that bottom point, you know, the double bottom. So that pretty much got erased. This one is, this growth is going to get erased. This large growth here already got erased with this one downslope, right? So that's what happens. But if it goes down further, it can really go down to where there was, you know, to where people really find like a lot of support. And the reason I say that, why I drew it down here, is because, and that's about like the 3,800 number. Don't take my word on that, okay? But that's pretty bearish. But if it does dip down to that level, then the reason I'm saying that is because there are a lot, well, let's put it this way, there's a lot of energy, and this is from like people in the market, where they're saying, okay, if it drops down there, that's when I'm going to start buying, because I'm looking for like, they have this belief that there has to be some type of huge correction for this thing to moon, and they want Bitcoin to moon. They want it to go to the $50, $100, $300,000 range. And is that possible? You know, you tell me. But that's the sentiment. So they're saying, okay, I'm a big bear on this. I'm a big bear on this thing, and you know, I did my Elliott wave, and by gosh, I'm going to be right on that Elliott wave, because Elliott, it's technical analysis and it can never be wrong. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. So. Yeah, so there's a lot of people looking for a big, huge dip, and that's the market sentiment. We had this sentiment before we actually saw this growth phase here, which is just an ABC triangle. But right around here, this 3, it was going down, and people were, oh my God, it's the end of the world, that type of thing. And then all of a sudden, one day, wham, and everybody's opinion changed. But there's still a lot of lingering malaise in the market, to where it's like a bearish residue or residual value, where they want it to go down, okay? And then from there, their logic is, okay, it'll go up, and it'll go up big time. And so we'll see. But it can do that. I'm thinking, yeah, after it reaches down here on this level, if it does get there, then I'll go ahead and do another remote viewing on it and see. But for right now, it's like, you know, don't worry too much. It's just how chart goes. And also look at this general trend. Generally, it looks like a great big cup and handle, right? This is the right side of a cup and handle. If you scroll way out, and you know, go back and do some research on coupon handles and what happens with them. Anyway, going back to some VeChain news. Let's go back here to good old market cap and click on VeChain so you guys can find out where you can get this information for yourself. You click on social, and well, here's one piece of news. VeChain's first exchange in India with fiat trading pair. So that's really cool. It's not a huge exchange, overall, but it's good for India, and there's a lot of people in India, and there are billionaires in India, so we'll see how that goes. And crypto can help that country a long way. I mean, they could really use crypto in a lot of things that it can offer to really help out that country in more ways than one. So anyway, but that's interesting. So VeChain, first exchange in India with fiat trading pair. So yay, congrats to VeChain. Another thing that's important on VeChain is that they released their white paper, which we have been waiting on for some time. And if you click up here on their link, that's their Twitter, and scrolling down, yeah, ZebPay is where they're at. Okay, and we scrolling down, see here's the development plan, and you can find it on the CDN. And it takes you, and you click it and it takes you to their PDF, and it has a lot of information in it. I mean, it's huge. It's a very good read, and I'll be covering it in a future video. But keep in mind that the price of VeChain is going to tank. It is going to tank, and the reason for that is because there is going to be a 1 to 100 coin split. So in other words, they're taking one VEN, which is currently the ticker on it. They're going to split it into 100 pieces. So when the switch comes, when they switch to VET, when they make the change over to their mainnet, instead of if you have one VEN, you are going to get 100 VET, and your percentage in ownership will be the same. Okay, so no worries there. But you're going to get 100 more tokens. There'll be like 100 everything. The only thing is that the price will be a lot less. So instead of like $5, it's going to be 5 cents. Okay, so don't be surprised if you see it tank like that and worry. Look at that. The cool thing though is that, let's say if the price tanks, well, not if, but when. Okay, and it's not really a tank. But anyway, it's going to go way down, okay, because it's doing the adjustment. And they might do some adjustments here and say, okay, well, let's, they keep the same chart, for scaling purposes, we'll see. Or keep the VEN ticker and have an actual VET ticker and have them be separate, so we'll see. But anyway, let's assume it's on the VEN thing. It's going to go down, and it's going to be like 5 cents. 4 or 5 cents, wherever it's at, right? And the thing is, people are going to see that, and they're going to say, oh my gosh, it's 5 cents. It's 5 cents. This is like a killer deal. So do you think it's going to be 5 cents for more than like a day or 2 days? So we'll just see. But anyway, keep that in mind, because all of a sudden it's going to be the least expensive top 20 coin out there. Right? Because if we look at right now, I believe it's Tron, where you can get has the smallest dollar amount per token, right? Anyway, so that's about it, and I'll check the live stream if there's any questions. I doubt it. I'll go ahead and take off and call it a night. And if you like the video, go ahead and like it, subscribe, and hit the little ding to get notified of my next video. Anyway, have a great day, and catch you later, guys. Bye.